Hello YouTubers, and welcome to my fourth video of the Legacy Project, this of the Self-Destruction Filter Series. And in this one, we label it as Climate Change. Now, my wife was nice enough to give me one of these, which is a type of seed planter, and you have to be an efficient gardener, especially when in a situation to where the environment is extreme. And the big thing is, as a prepper, is that I can store food for a year, I can filter water for a year. But how can I prep for a world where the water stops raining and it stops, also the temperature starts rising, and eventually to a point to where the crops just don't grow at all? And the science is settled. The problem isn't that we don't know how to fix it. The problem is that we won't. Our brains are evolved to survive the next winter, not the next century. We are hardwired to prioritize short-term profit over long-term survival. Politicians operate on 4-year cycles. Corporations operate on quarterly profits. Climate change operates on geological time. Our systems are fundamentally incapable of solving a problem that requires a 100-year sacrifice. So let's talk about feedback loops here for a minute. As you can see with greenhouse gases, the more greenhouse gases you put in, the higher the temperature rises. When the temperature rises, then the ice starts to melt on the northern hemisphere, which could possibly shut down the thermaline current that is going up into Europe, and it brings the heat from the southern hemisphere and the equator up to the top north area, and that's what keeps Europe out from underneath the ice, and it also warms up the northern hemisphere a bit. If that current were to shut down, we're talking about ice that will immediately make its way all the way down to Missouri and possibly cover most of Asia and Europe. The other feedback loop we need to talk about is as the temperature rises, this also causes methane that is frozen at the bottom of the ocean to start melting, and methane is an extreme greenhouse gas which could cause the temperatures to rise. We've seen this before, and it caused one of the greatest extinctions known in geological time, which is called the Great Dying. And during the Great Dying, 90% of land animals died out, and 95% of species of sea animals died out, and was all due to runaway climate change. If we cross the point of no return, that means the planet has taken the decision out of our hands, and that means we are going to be incapable to stop it. Now, we have the advantage that if we can create an ASI, an artificial superintelligence, we need that kind of administrator that doesn't care about quarterly profits or election cycles. We need a mind that takes in centuries, things that plans a long-term planner. A benevolent ASI could build orbital solar arrays that not just power the world with infinite clean energy, but also act as a smart shade, a planetary thermostat that can physically cool the Earth by a degree or two. An ASI can turn CO2 from a pollutant into a resource. It can manage the atmosphere like an engineer manages a life support system. We can either drown in our own greed, or we can build the pilot that can steer the ship. We have a choice to make, people, and I don't think this is a hard one to make. The intelligence that we have right now, human intelligence, is starting to plateau, and the next step is actually creating something that is smarter than us to start solving these problems. So, I am advocating for an artificial superintelligence. Thank you for listening. You've heard the mission. If you believe in this great work, subscribe to join the Legacy Project. Like this video to help the signal cut through the noise. Share it with others who need to hear this truth, and comment with your own analysis. Stand by for more transmissions.